My name is Nkiru Okoye, and I am an assistant adjunct professor here at Hofstra in the music department. On February 5th, we are doing a concert called A Ride on the Underground Railroad, and it's going to be a fun program. It also happens to be educational because it's about the Underground Railroad, and so you're going to hear music that pertains to the Underground Railroad, but it's not your standard, let's just listen to some spirituals type of program. And this is what I'm really excited about. We've got some of the traditional spirituals, some of them sung in new ways, and we've also got some contemporary pieces. We've got one world premiere by Julius Williams, a composer, and we've got another piece that is called Renegade by a composer who just passed away. His name was Wendell Logan. And we also have my Songs of Harriet Tubman, which I wrote a few years ago, and we've got some amazing performers who are coming in to do them. Well, Songs of Harriet Tubman is what's called a song cycle, and a song cycle, as I tell my music appreciation students, is a collection of songs based on a common theme. And in this case, the common theme is Harriet Tubman. The cycle starts off with young Harriet Tubman. Her given name is Araminta Ross, and she's going off to work for the first time. She's 7, and they're sending her away from her plantation. And that's the only home she knows, and they're sending her away from her mom and her brothers and her sister. And so she's very, very concerned. And then with the second song, it's called My Name is Harriet Now, and this is her coming of age song. She's about 10 years older, and she's gone through some significant trials and some tribulations. She's been injured very badly. She's had a head injury, and she doesn't want to be called a child anymore, and Araminta she refers to as a name of her youth. So she changes her name to Harriet. The third song in there is I Am Harriet Tubman, Free Woman, and this it seems to be everyone's favorite song in the cycle. It's the gospel aria, because each one has a different style of African American music in there. And the first one sounds a lot like spirituals. It's not based on spirituals, but it's got that flavor. The second one is all about jazz, and you hear all different styles of jazz, old school, new stuff that's way out there. And then it kind of ends with smooth jazz. So you can just imagine yourself in a coffee bar someplace just listening, you know. But the third one is the gospel aria, and she's in the opera, she's actually in a black church. And I cheat a little bit because gospel hadn't been invented yet. But she gets out and she says, I am Harriet Tubman and I am a free woman. And she's just liberated, and she just does her thing. And then with the last aria, she says, I am Moses the Liberator. And that's the kind of conceptual, and she says, I'll hold my revolver between the space between your eyes. You keep on going or die. And it's one of these Tubman quotes that I don't think anyone ever forgets. And the singer we've got to do it is just amazing. Her name is Diana Solomon Glover. And I met her at a performance, and actually there was a mutual acquaintance who said, you need to meet Diana. And I happened to see her at a performance, and everyone else said, congratulations. And I said, you need to know about my Songs of Harriet Tubman. And so that is how we met. And she's sung them in a number of different places, and we are really, really fortunate to have her singing them on February 5th. Well, I have been working on Harriet Tubman for a good bit. I was living in Maryland when I started the project. I wanted to do something about a black woman, and I was looking at Sojourner Truth or Harriet Tubman. And reading the biographies, I found out that Tubman started out in Maryland, and since I was in Maryland, it seemed like a natural thing to do. Little did I know what was going to happen, which was that I was going to write this very simple piece about Harriet Tubman, the type of thing that pretty much has been written before several times, just a bunch of spirituals that end up with Go Down Moses. And it's been done so many times that I figured, why do that? Do something more substantial. And so I really began to research Tubman, and fortunately there were about 3 biographers who had decided to do substantive biographies on Tubman at the time. And so I started working with them, and I decided that my unique take on Tubman would be to first do something that just talks about the real reason that she would go up and down the Northeast Corridor risking her life and risking her freedom. And I thought that makes a very interesting story. The second thing I wanted to do with it was to really reflect her music. Because a lot of times, you know, when people think about opera, they have kind of this knee-jerk reaction, ooh, I don't like opera. I wanted this to be the type of thing that you could listen to it and hear a lot of folk music in it, because Harriet Tubman would not have been singing bel canto opera, which is, you know, what we think of when we hear the term opera. She would have been singing spirituals, she would have been singing work songs. Ragtime was just sort of kind of getting into the mix at that point. And I wanted it to reflect the music of her time. I think after any program, any kind of concert, you want people to go away with a satisfying concert experience. You want them to say, wow, musically I feel good about what I just heard. I want them to feel a little challenged, because you're going to hear some music that, like I said, it's a little out there and it's going to challenge you a bit. When I think about what I want to say to the next generation of composers, or even my contemporaries, people who want to get any piece of music out there, the first thing is write it. You know, go to school, make sure that you have those skills. Don't just assume just because we're in this digital society that we can go out and we've got these tools that make it easier, but the hard work is still there. I came to Hofstra in September, so I'm very much the newbie here. I just got here. I think that any place where you can come in and be the new kid on the block and your department chair says, you want to do a program, go for it. And so many people have just welcomed me in as part of the Hofstra family, and they've just said, you know, let's put on this program, let's support it, and I think that's wonderful. Our students are coming in. We've got students from the Hofstra choir, we've got students from the orchestra, and our wonderful faculty members. I even have one student who is the composition student of another faculty member, and he wanted to be in on the program, so we are working on a new arrangement of Go Down Moses, and he is so excited, and I'm excited at his excitement, so it's a fun experience. My opera, which is Harriet Tubman, When I Crossed That Line to Freedom, it's going to premiere this weekend. They're doing the first act, and it's with Downtown Music Productions, and it will be on Sunday, January 15th.